How good Slick's new song? Wesley Black?
So good.
Brand new, dropping dimes. Watch yourself a miss.
It's a banger.
I reckon it's my favourite one yet.
Oh, I feel like I say that every time he drops a song.
Nah, this is definitely my favourite. We got Slick on the podcast.
Wesley
Stay
Black,
tuned.
baby.
Wesley Black's joining us this week on the MacPack podcast.
Episode 61 of the MacPack Podcast.
G'day and welcome to the MacPack Podcast.
We're back.
My name's Jake McKenna, and to my left, this week in order of the closest thing we have to Spotify support, it's my little brother Joe. How are you, Joe boy?
Jake, I'm not going well. I'm talking to Spotify every day and I'm getting nowhere with them.
It's been a rough week on the downloads, but at least we know why now.
Bloody Spotify.
And to my right, coming in 6 to 1, as he does each and every week, is the baby brother of the pack, who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
I hope all those Friday fiends are listening to this on Spotify Friday at 8 a.m.
We can only hope.
Yes.
Mate, this week is huge. We're chatting about why you got stuck 10 foot high.
Yeah, I did.
We're also chatting about the Urban Dictionary trend that's been going on all over Instagram.
Yep.
But I'm most looking forward to the chat that we have with Mr. Wesley Black after he drops the featured brand new song, Better With You. It's a massive episode of the MacPack Podcast, so let's get into it. Boys,
Brother Bingos.
How are we all?
We're great.
Fantastic.
Good to be here.
Are we actually well, or are we still like...
I'm bad at Spotify.
What the fuck's going on with Spotify?
What is the fuck going on?
Shout out to Spotify for their terrible support.
What the fuck?
I've never spoken to so many people and just been blatantly ignored before.
Oh my gosh.
It's the most annoying thing is like in my first like email complaint to them, I was like, okay, the issue is we're uploading to Spotify, we're uploading the podcast and no one can listen to it. And they're like, have you tried reinstalling the app?
Yeah,
Fuck
And
off.
I did that. I was like, okay, you gotta, you know when you talk to tech and it's like, have you tried turning off and on again? You
It
gotta
works.
just do what they say at first.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, reinstall the app. And they're like, okay, how is it working now? And like, no, like, oh, that's weird. Like, send me a screen recording. So I send them the screen recording. They're like, oh, have you tried waiting 3 minutes? I'm like,
What?
yeah, like it's just not working.
but
Bruh.
also like it's not a user issue, because if like we don't want to be instructing people how to then use Spotify.
yeah.
The issue isn't with us or our devices.
Oh
It's
yeah,
with-
exactly, yeah.
It's with your service.
with the nation.
The kicker that got me was like, it works on Apple, it works on Google, it works on there's this plethora of other podcast hosting providers that we have. Plus, it actually works on Spotify, as long
yeah.
as you're not using the iPhone app. We have Android mates who are listening
Well,
to it
that's-
fine. We've got people on desktop listening to it fine. I personally, just to check, went on the Safari browser
Web
of Spotify. It worked. No issues whatsoever.
Well, that's the
Well, if you're in Safari on your phone.
Yeah, it works. No
You
issues.
should be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hassle.
Well, that's the annoying thing. I was talking to like the tech support guys, and they're like, "Oh, we just went on our Android phone and it worked
Of
fine."
course it did.
Like, but
that's
that's
not the fucking
problem.
issue. Yeah.
I said, yeah, we can't, like, people can't download the program. Like, and they were like, oh, you just got to click the download button and then send me a circle of the download button. I was like, brother, I know how it works.
Oh my god.
But you can't play it after, like, he must have
No.
downloaded it and then just not
Yeah.
clicked play.
We're now on the Twitter.
Yeah, we're contacting anyone, and they don't have a phone number. They don't have like anyone that'll help. They just keep passing each other around.
Yep.
Just going, oh hey, like we've got an issue, and they go, oh yeah, that's
Not really
that's
our team.
Jeffrey's team's situation. He can help you out. Hopefully by this
Shocker.
point, by the time you're hearing this, you're hearing it through the luscious Spotify iOS app.
It's a great
I guess.
app,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's great when it fucking works,
When it
and it
works.
seems to be only us that
Yeah.
it's affecting.
And it's come completely. We didn't do anything different about how we did anything.
Nah,
bang.
I hope
Just-
not. I hope we don't sit here this time next week and like it's
I'm
obviously.
still talking about it.
And the thing.
Oh yeah, or that like I fucked up and I've done something completely wrong when I put.
Well, we're not
like
gonna
gone
tell
on
people
the yeah. And it's funny because on Friday, Jake was like, "Oh, we haven't got as many downloads as we normally have this week."
I wasn't sweating, but I was just like, man, Jared, like
really
they
boosted.
came and they left, and more left than came,
And it's
unfortunately.
always worse because it's like the Jared episode was obviously massive, and then the next week after that, where it was just us and Jared wasn't there, it was still good. So it's almost like
Oh yeah, it was growing. It
it's
was growing.
If people
very
just
well.
listen to the Jared episode and then never listen again, it's like, oh, whatever, that's understandable. But if they listen to the Jared episode, we're like, yeah, I'm gonna check these guys out. Listen to a week where it's just us, and then we're like, nah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
That's worse.
And that's
Yeah.
that's what generally was going through my mind. It was just like maybe people just held out because we obviously like mentioned that we are gonna have Jared on. People were like, oh, maybe we'll just keep listening. We'll keep listening.
Yeah.
We'll keep listening. And then, how's the frogs outside? I don't know if you can hear the frogs.
Oh, they're living it up,
I
brother.
think they're mating for the sounds of things. It's not. Oh goodness me.
More on that later.
But yeah. So if you are listening, if you're not, it's tough to say like, hey, if you're unable to listen on Apple Pods because you
won't be hearing this.
Yeah.
We're in a weird
Got to make a TikTok about Apple Pods.
about how to listen to a podcast. Anyway, hopefully it'll be resolved soon enough. Thank you everyone for listening. And if you haven't listened to last week's episode, go back and listen to it.
It was a good one.
Pump up those download numbers because we were about to break another monthly record.
Yeah.
We're absolutely killing it. And
Such a fuck.
I did not expect the iOS app to be the thing that got in our way.
Apple, man.
Apple, man.
Can't stand it.
Stick with Apple Pods. Apple Pods are good.
But yeah, like so Friday night, I had a good night planned. I was going to the Taylor Swift Red tribute night.
Nice.
And I'm there, just in the middle of songs, emailing these tech support guys. But the Taylor Swift night was great. It's the second one I've been to.
Ooh.
It's funny because the first one we went to, and also the Olivia Rodrigo one,
Yep.
the DJs were younger girls.
Yeah.
Which is like
The
exactly the
demographic.
target you imagine, right?
Yeah.
This one, it was at the Aberdeen rather than the Sewing Room.
Ooh.
And this one had, the DJ was like a much older guy in, I'd say like late 30s.
Cool.
And he was absolutely like killing it. Like the mixes were good. He was playing the album in order.
He knows.
But then he was chopping them up to have other songs in between.
Genius.
Okay.
So he was playing Red in full, but also like putting things in the middle.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, this guy doesn't look like he would listen to that much Taylor Swift. But then it's like, he's mixing in like the drops and stuff.
he
So
knows
like
what
he
he's
has
on.
to know them.
Yeah.
He's a Swiftie.
Back to front. He's
He's
a
a
Swiftie,
Swiftie.
yeah. But yeah, obviously everyone was wearing red after the big Red re-release, as we discussed last week.
Of course.
And it's a big breakup album, so there's a lot of sad girls there.
Yeah.
Of course.
But there was this one girl in particular who was just a total mess for the whole night.
Oh, really?
Just like tripping over, in tears multiple times. And then at one point she had lost her phone, so she was going around to everyone asking them if they had picked up a phone.
Did she Jake in them?
But it's like, yeah, I hope she found it. But it's one thing, you go to a Taylor Swift night, everyone's there. But to be the one who's crying the most and also being the biggest mess, it's like quite an achievement.
Achievement.
Because it's like the demographic you're in is already a bit of a mess to begin with.
Yeah.
You're part of that demo.
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Part of that demo. All right, last week, boys, we chatted about the doppelgangers after the fact that everyone
The
seemed
Elon
to think
Musk.
everyone seemed to think
Musky.
you looked exactly like Elon Musk. I think there's a TikTok going up. It will be up by now about exactly that. It'll be interesting to see how many people come out and agree.
Yeah,
Exactly that. I'm quite intrigued to see that. But we did ask the people of Perth on this occasion
Mm-hmm.
who me and Riley look like. We wanted to work out who our doppelgangers were.
We
Do you want to read it? I'll read out yours. You read out mine.
Yep.
You had some good ones, and my favorite.
I'll read yours first. Oh, who's we get?
I'll read yours.
Oh, okay.
The best part about this was there wasn't like a huge amount, but there was a couple that came through multiple times, which means that people
Okay.
have sussed you and
They're
sorted you pretty
concentrated.
quickly. Yeah. Apparently, firstly, I got this before we'd even spoken about this last week. Someone said that you look like the bouncer at the GOG.
Oh,
We're obviously not sure who that is, but
which bouncer?
if we find out, it'd be great to get a photo of the two of you together.
One
We
day.
also got Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle, which me and Joe said we've sort of made mention to.
In your youth in particular.
Yeah, he looked a lot like Dewey.
I can see that.
I think some of the old videos we have, we might be able to share one of those that really demonstrates what a big Dewey you look like.
Fair enough.
We also had the default me character from like the Wii game.
Yeah.
Huh.
Didn't have to change mine much.
It's just because he's got the short, flat hair.
You've also got quite a round head.
Yeah. I actually do it.
Rahul Rath said bit of Pete Davidson about you.
I don't mind that.
You do a
Pete
good Pete
Davidson's hot.
Davidson impression.
You do a Pete Davidson impression.
When?
You've done it before about him dating Ariana Grande.
Oh.
Stay tuned.
Killing
Stay
me on the
tuned
spot.
next week. But the one that came in multiple times was Morty from Rick and Morty.
Oh.
So
These are all like bold,
Round-faced.
round-faced people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you look like,
Is
idiot.
that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. Each to their own.
We got a few like good ones from you, but like these are actually like spot on, especially this one, Steve from Stranger
never seen
Things.
Yeah,
Stranger
Steve
Things.
from Stranger Things.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
That's a lie. You've seen a little bit.
I couldn't tell you who
That's
the
what
fuck
you
Steve is.
Well, yeah, me and Joe were looking up. We searched up photos of Steve and we put them side by side. They're
I definitely.
Pretty
There's
bang on.
There's this one scene in particular that there was like a Snapchat going on around from where we used to work, and just in this one frame, you look exactly like him.
yeah,
All right, well,
the exact same.
so you have to show us.
Alison also said you look like me.
Yep. She said the same on you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
Fair
we
enough.
just look like each other.
And then Megan Murray, Chandler from Friends.
Oh, yeah.
I think in behavior, but I don't think you really look like him.
Nah, not really. Chandler has a lot of different looks in.
One that I've
He
had
changes a
previously, Jared Lyons from the Brisbane Football Club.
Yeah.
Currently.
Don't know who that is.
Okay, we'll put that up. When I was a little bit younger, I used to look a lot like him.
There you go.
But yours is obviously the mustache man from the famous Richmond.
yeah, I think last week we mentioned that we want to track that man down. So maybe I'll leave that up to you guys.
One day we'll find it.
One day
To
we'll
suss
find
that.
him.
All right, boys. We don't really hop on the trends or
No.
the fads
Of course not.
as a general rule, either independently or on the podcast itself. But
Everyone's been sharing it.
yeah, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, it was like share a picture of your dog and we'll plant a tree.
Yeah, apparently that was there's no one's planting them trees.
We'd love to check in on the bloke who had to do that. What was it, like 650,000 trees.
Oh, more, a million.
Oof. This week it seemed to be share your Urban Dictionary, what your name is in Urban Dictionary.
It's those new Instagram sticker things. I have no idea how to do them. I don't know how to get that
Yeah, how
thing
do
on
you
there.
get it?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. That's why I haven't done it
I
yet.
haven't looked into it.
They're kind of annoying. No one's reading them. Guys.
What, the Urban Dictionary stuff?
No one's reading.
No,
Yeah,
and the
they-
last thing you'd want to do is talk about three on your podcast. Which leads us to the next 10 minutes. All right, so we thought we would, between us, go through and read out exactly what ours are.
I've got one.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Riley.
What I want you to do is I want you to read it out and we can agree. We can rate it out of 10. We'll do that?
Yeah.
How accurate we think it is. Let's go.
Ready? Riley, a guy with bulging biceps and a massive cock, usually associated with nailing a girl named Maddie. This guy's ridiculous, and they often have a hard time walking the next day after enjoying an evening with Riley. And then using it in a sentence.
You're a fuckwit. Yeah.
And that using it in a sentence. That girl is walking really funny. She must have got Riley last night.
That's not a noun.
And that's
Surely-
by Melheads, December 28, 2008.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
were.
was that you?
five.
I was 5 and I was nailing Maddie.
Good. All right.
Shouts to Maddie.
Well, we can't argue with any of that.
Gotta be a 10. Joe, you kick things off.
All right, so the top one when you search
What are we thinking Joe's is gonna be? Like, are
Something
you
about
going
it-
Joe or Joseph?
Joe.
Okay.
Something about a massive cock. All the guys
Okay,
ones.
so
are.
the top one when you search Joe, this is a recent one coming in.
Is this what we're going with? The top one? Is that what you went with?
Oh, I found.
Oh, you're
I've-
just
I've got
fucking, you
another
can't
one.
pick and choose.
A spotlight search for cock.
I've got another one further down
Ooh.
as well, but the top one is a good one. It came out 2 years ago. So it just says Joe.
Recent.
It just says, "Don't ask who Joe is," and then it's got the little like using it in a sentence.
Yeah.
And then it says, so the two characters have got a Mike Hunt and Ben Dover.
Classic.
So the first guy, Mike, says, "Have you heard of Joe?" And then Ben says, "Who's Joe?" Obviously walking into the classic Joe Mama trap,
Brava.
which was it was a rough time to be named a Joe. I got it so much, it was really annoying. When Kira first told her friends that she had a date, like on her first date, she said, "I'm going out with someone." They're like, "Oh, who?" And then she's like, "I'm going out on Friday with someone." They're like, "Who is it?"
Joe.
And she was like, "Joe." And they were like, like that's not funny. Like, you
classic.
passed the trend.
Classic era.
But if I go down to a later one, there is another one here. There's a bit more of a definition type vibe.
That's what we're going
So
for.
okay, so Joe has a huge penis.
Hey, Joey!
Goes,
3 inches.
he goes, "It's just magical. It will change your life. The best move I ever made. I would do anything to meet him again. Don't lose your opportunity to be with a Joe. It's an amazing experience." And then the little text thing is, "Wow, last night me and this guy Joe did it. And it was great." So, you know.
Did you write that yourself?
No,
like
it's
that
written by a
person-
guy named Sam.
It's like
Sam
that-
Wooten.
It's like that person like put no effort in. They really dipped off after the first line. I'm keen to hear Jake's.
Yeah, mine
yeah,
aren't.
Jake's
okay.
I actually haven't read any of these, but I will give you.
Jake's looking for a horse cock.
I'll just give. I'll just read the top one. The top one has 600 and...
Oh my gosh, it's as long as it's fucking Bible. Fucking.
Okay.
The first
Read it,
testament,
It's as
bro.
long as the penis that they make mention to. Jake. Now this is cute. A person who is very caring, sweet, and loyal.
Massive cock.
They probably have a lot of drama in their life, but they deal with it pretty well.
With their massive.
They aren't good at opening up about things, so don't feel bad if they don't tell you everything at first. They do trust a small circle of friends, however, they tell them everything. If you're dating a Jake, here we go. Be prepared for surprises and lots of PDA. They can be very clingy at times, and they can get jealous easily. When you're alone, you guys have a lot of fun. Wink face.
Oh.
Feel
Parentheses.
feel really lucky that you're dating them because they like a couple of people, but they choose you over everyone.
Oh.
Everyone likes them because they're fun and easygoing. You'll never have a dull moment with them. This is off my personal experiences with Jakes. Please don't come at me. Also, all the Jakes out there, please tell me if this is even close to you.
What do we think, boys?
Yeah, it's not. It's a bit soft, isn't it?
I mean, they're like star signs. They're like so vague, and like everyone has a
ours are
horse
pretty
cock.
specific.
None of mine speak about girth or anything.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
It's a sign. We in high school, I remember one of my mates. I'm not going to mention any names here. I'm
Yeah.
going to mention the first
Obviously,
name of
yeah.
the urban. But in year 9 specifically, one of my mates tend to get teased by a guy a fair bit,
Yeah.
and he thought the best way to go at him was to make an Urban Dictionary definition about him.
Classic.
His name was Jack, but people often refer to him as Jack because it would annoy him.
Spelled Jeck.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is Jack's. The biggest Aussie bogan who is also a grade B thought. He's honestly one of the most annoying persons, especially during break times when he boots my ball to the other side of the oval. And then it's just the basic use it in a sentence. But yeah.
I've never heard of that. You making an Urban Dictionary thing out of spite.
And it was made by Jack Pryor, May 2018.
Can you do something? Can you do McKenna?
Oh, here we go. What about the MacPack podcast? Do you reckon there's one? Massive cock. McKenna?
That might be something fun if someone has time at home.
Right
We
one
have so
out.
many fans who seem to have a lot more time than us.
Yeah, how about write them out, and then next week we'll check, and if there's any, we'll read them out.
Yeah, if you could do one for the MacPack. I don't know how you do one.
McKenna,
Do one for the MacPack. That would be really funny. We'll read it out.
McKenna is a female's
Female
first name.
first name, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. America, usually.
Oh.
A lot of McKenna. So this is all like,
Is there a MacPack then?
let's find out.
We want to search this next week and there'll be a MacPack. That's the plan.
MacPack. Oh, shit. Here we go. So, something about Mac Miller.
Oh, yeah.
A small group of close friends who appreciate Mac Miller. That's us.
That is us.
Oh, yeah.
That is us.
MacPack, a ridiculously jacked up Californian guy who frequently hits on females, mainly waitresses, and lives the GLT lifestyle all day, every day. The MacPack has got with every B-dubs waitress at the downtown location, so he's forced to get his wings elsewhere. Made by Lady B, August 25th, 2010. Zero upvotes.
People say the Urban Dictionary is fake. All right, boys, we're super excited for this next part of the MacPack podcast this week.
Here we
So
go.
high.
It's 10 weeks ago since the big man joined us
Yes.
on the
I know, it
pod.
doesn't feel like that long ago.
No, it doesn't. And he hinted exactly this, exactly what we're about
yeah.
to talk to him about. He hinted on the podcast.
He
So,
teased.
It's obviously been a huge week for him.
Yep.
Yeah, he really plans things out as well.
Who are we
Yeah.
talking about?
We're talking about Wesley Black.
Wesley Black.
Who joined us earlier on this year. He's had a huge schedule, a huge strategy to get this thing to kick.
And he's done well.
Boy, has it done well in its opening week. He premiered on Triple J on Monday night.
Yep.
And today he joins us on the MacPack podcast. It's an absolute pleasure to have Mr. Wesley Black on the line. Wesley Black, how are you, sir?
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for having me back.
Hell yeah.
What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I'm very happy to speak to my three favorite fellas.
We were just saying it's only been 10 weeks since you joined us, but my God, a lot has gone on since then, especially on your end of things.
Oh, wow. You guys are too kind. Hey, and you too as well, though. Body Magic episode was hilarious. So.
Don't give us the credit, man. This part's all about you. How was the release on Monday night on Triple J?
It was really good. It was actually it was a bit of an odd one. As I don't think I actually told you guys too much, but when you wanted to call that night, I think I kind of was saying I would like to sleep early because it turned into a bit of a crazy night with the music video and such, and everything kind of getting thrown around, and we had to shoot a lot of the music video very last minute and very, very early in the morning. So yeah, it got a bit hectic.
What,
but
day of
it went
release?
very well.
Day of release.
Yes.
Unreal.
It
That's
looks
right.
so good though.
Oh, thanks very much. That was shot by Joel Baker, who's a good friend of mine, and I edited that. And yeah, it was a bit crazy because basically, with the last minute, Triple J thing, it kind of made that the release had to come out earlier, and the music video did as well. So it
Pushed
we
everything
kinda
up
just,
a bit.
Yeah, we all just got together as a team. Was like, all right, we got to push around this. So shout out Dawn, who is of course the producer on the song, and he was like, well, I'm working till 1 a.m, but I'm happy to shoot it at 2. And we actually had a sunrise part of the shoot as well. So those two fellas stayed up all night. I slept for maybe 2 hours, and we shot from 2 till 6 or 7 in the morning.
Unreal. That's showbiz,
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
Was it going to be
as I did
sunrise?
say-
Was it going to be
Oh, sorry,
sunrise anyway, or was
Yeah,
that just
yeah,
completely spur of the moment?
No, it actually was. It was going to be the day before, so at least we would have the morning shoot, we could go back to sleep and everything, and I could half edit it and then finish it the next day after we do the 2 a.m. part. But then it was, we looked at the weather and it was 90% chance of heavy rain and stuff, and it was all outside, so I was like, oh, that's a bit risking it.
Unreal. Well, you've done well to pull it all together. How did the whole thing with Triple J come about? Was it a bit of a surprise by the sounds of things?
Yeah, it was. To be honest, I was very much what's the expression? Sorry, praying for the best. Oh, no, hoping for the best. No, preparing for the worst.
Preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best.
Yeah. There you go. So with that one, because I was kind of hoping, I was like, well, this, I think has more of a accessible sound than Ego Death, which got played as well. So I was like, hopefully they will. And the crazy thing as well, you probably wouldn't be able to tell unless you saw the credits of the song. But of course, Ego Death and Better With You are both collabs with me and Dawn, even though they couldn't probably sound more different. So I was hoping that they, of course, remembered the last release and stuff like that. But I was pretty confident it was going to get played because Rach told me that Declan, who spun the song, really liked it, and he was hoping to do the premiere, but he just wasn't sure about the timing of stuff and if he could fit it in the show.
Yep.
But then, about of the week before, he was like, yeah, it's going to be premiered and whatever, which I was super excited about because it seems like it's a next level at least to the player, them actually premiering it and stuff. And they were actually posting it around, which was sick. He was like, oh yeah, tonight I'm premiering this song by Wesley Black and whatever. And I was like, yo, that's actually crazy. So
Yeah,
and
sick.
of course, a little hype up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was really cool.
Obviously, now you and Dawn are basically a dynamic duo. Bloody hell.
Yeah. I told him, I said, bad news, but he's stuck with me now.
So I have a question about the writing process. Obviously, you have a very different sound, or you're very versatile in your sounds. But with your songs,
Oh, yeah.
do you tend to write the lyrics first, or the beat happens first with you and Dawn?
I think most of the time I would like to have the beat first. With this one, I had kind of just a demo beat where it was kind of similar to it and
Okay.
kind of the same style. And I wrote to it. And with this one as well, I was actually kind of went through a phase of kind of writing a bit of poetry as well. So some of
Ooh.
those lines were actually taken or kind of changed up to rhyme and everything, but taken from poetry stuff as well that I just thought sounded kind of poetic and would be good for I don't know, just expressing myself and maybe putting it in a song or something. And then when I started writing this song, I was like, wow, that actually fits perfectly. And so with this one, it was kind of a bit of both. Hey, it was a bit of writing before and a bit of hearing the beat before for parts of it. And after Dawn reproduced it, then it kind of just all came together because then, I don't know, we just got to re-record it and really make it special. And it felt more of in the moment. And that's why I was knew that this had to be the next release because it was the most in the moment release.
Yeah, that's
I don't,
fantastic.
yeah.
I remember you said last time, well, when you joined us in the podcast, we sort of hinted at the fact that there was another song coming out, but the plan was
Yes.
always to push this one out first.
Yes. Yep, correct. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that this one, I felt like this was a good step in the right direction, though. Like, I think sonically as well, like, it was an interesting follow-up to, like, that whole Angel EP, just because it sounds like a full 180, I guess, but I was very happy with it because, yeah, it was just like, I thought, like this sound was more open to a lot of people, and as much as I love doing rap stuff, and I obviously will in the future and stuff, it's good to know that, that I can put out like more versatile stuff as well, and and that was probably the most important thing for me with this song is like that I could just like be vulnerable in music, because it was like I like to kind of sometimes use that Wesley Black character to make myself more comfortable and whatever, but this one I kind of stripped everything away and just spoke for what exactly like I was feeling as myself, and putting it all out there into a song and singing as well, which I'd never really done before. So it was just like a good turning point of me being more comfortable and expressive in music.
Hell yeah, everyone can relate to like a kind of like sad breakup-y song, even if you haven't gone through one. Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, your singing performance was like impressively good. Like you always, whenever you do sing on tracks, I'm always like, this is like solid. I wish you would do more of it.
Oh yeah, legit.
That's what we said at the time when he was
yeah.
here last time.
No one
we were
else
like,
has this sound.
nah.
But
And
yeah.
it's
Oh,
sick.
I appreciate that.
It's definitely like, obviously like the more indie pop sort of vibe is more of like the Triple J sort of sound. And with that, so how did they find the song? Is that just through like Triple J Unearthed? Or are you like specifically sending it to the like host, or are they getting in contact with you?
It's with other ones that, because they'd played songs before, but just on the Unearthed radio, and that was just through Unearthed or whatever. And I think they still can hear it through there, but I guess they want to hear it like as fresh as possible or whatever. You know, like they're not going to play like a song that's been out for like a year or something that. But with this one, and I'm pretty sure Ego Death as well. I think Rach sent that one out with the release. Like when Angel came out, she sent it out to them. But this one, she had sent it before and stuff. So that was really cool when Rach told me that they had a listen, and he was like, oh yeah, I really like this song. I definitely want to play it and stuff like that. So having Rach to send it out definitely helped.
And
getting that play for this one.
Rach is Ricky's producer for all those.
Manager.
Yeah, young Rach.
Yep, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Rick, what's your favorite part of the song? I want to get into what the boys really like, because I think there's a common thread amongst the three of us, our favorite part of the song. But did you have a specific?
Really?
Yeah, did you have a specific part that you really that maybe resonates with you or has certain meaning to you, or even the part that you sort of liked listening back to the most?
Yeah. I definitely really like the hook. Like I was super proud of that, and just like how it kind of like it sounds catchy. Definitely is how, because I can like kind of get it stuck in my head. So I really like that part. But I think my favorite is kind of like the pre-chorus, like just before it comes in, and that's like where more like the poetic kind of stuff is, and like and I have the line where it's like, you could do so much better than me, but please don't, kind of thing, and then it kind of kicks back in. So I think that's probably my favorite, like the little part where it slows down just before the chorus comes back in.
Yeah, I really do like that. It's almost like
line.
it's like an independent pondering. Like the song actually takes half a beat just to be like, well, like there's a little bit more of an internal monologue of reflection just like within the song. I really like probably the medley that is like the singing, but then there's still drawbacks in verse 2 to that fantastic rap voice that you have. I think that
I appreciate that.
Cool tempo.
Yeah, and I think that's the
flow.
key. I think the tempo and the come in, and the way in which you sort of illustrate exactly what's going on in quite a condensed little package. It's just like, what would you? It's like a perfect
Like
combination.
rapid fire,
yeah, it's
right,
like
left, right, baby.
the Floyd Mayweather of rapping. You just get all these little combos in. I think that's without a doubt that's my favorite part anyway.
Oh, I appreciate that so much. I was really happy with the verse as well, and how it kind of like, you know, keeps changing the flow. And I guess like you said, like I tried to match the tempo of all of it and all of that. So yeah, that means a lot to he said as well. Because I was a bit unsure like if I should put a rap part in it, because I was like, let me put out the singing stuff. But I was like, I think people would still like to hear like me doing something uncomfortable and me rapping in the song. So great to hear that you really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, no, it was great, mate. And is it King of the World? When does King of the World come out?
Yes, that would definitely be the next the next release, and yeah, I don't know. We're all like super keen to put it out now because like I don't know. It's just like I felt like I got a cool reception from Better With You that people
Yeah, definitely.
do have like interest that they want to hear something more of this sound. And plus, King of the World's got a bit of like that kind of organic hype since I played it like 1 or 2 shows.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So people are kind of like, oh, okay, now I know this song. So it will be, I want to release it still in the summer. And I think it will just be more towards the end of summer because December definitely won't. And January sometimes a bit too, yeah, I don't know, a bit too risky and stuff because everyone's got like a lot going on in their lives, of course. But maybe I'm thinking, I don't want to lock in anything, but I'm thinking off the top of my head that February sounds like a perfect time.
I like it. Well, you definitely need a much earned. What is it? What I was going to say, you've definitely had a much earned break, is what you're probably in store for over Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
How was the overall sort of the reception from Triple J? Have you noticed an uptick in the amount of people getting around you? Have been quite overwhelmed by it all?
Yeah, well, I was actually really surprised, and that's kind of what made me think that it was a good step in the right direction. Is that like I got a few messages and stuff like that from people that I didn't really knew, like kind of. Like knew they listened to my music or whatever, and maybe even they hadn't until this one. I don't know, but it was just cool to be like, oh wow, like I haven't talked to you in a while, something like that, and stuff like that, and to hear people enjoying it. Like I don't know, this is like honestly probably the happiest I've been with any release, just because of like how I felt after it. Like I actually felt like I'd done something different. I'd done something like a bit more than maybe I'd expected or other people had expected of me, and to see like a lot more people resonate with it made me think that that versatility is good, and maybe exploring this new sound or other new sounds is good as well. And I'm super stoked as well with Declan. Because it only came up on Earth today because it just takes a while to upload. Hey, so I'd only seen he reviewed it straight away, and because before I think. There was a couple tracks like 3.5 or 4, but he rated this one like 4.5 stars, and like, and we're just like saying like nice stuff about it. And I was like, that's actually like, I don't know, I felt really good about that because it just made me feel like I'm super excited for the next release already. And I know like at least he'll be having his eye on it and stuff because he really enjoyed the last track, and that's like definitely the highest that he's given to any of my songs and stuff like that. And of course, yeah, he works at Triple J, so that will be super sick to see what he thinks of like the next stuff and whatnot. Yeah, but it just like I think like kind of what you're saying before. It was just like very like it was just like a very good time for me to release this, and as much of like a sad song as it is, it's like it's interesting to see like this is the happiest I've kind of been after release, and the most like humbled and motivated I felt after one.
Oh yeah,
I love that for you, Rick.
It's,
I think I've never seen so many people
share the shit, bro.
No, yeah, it's absolutely going off. There's people that people that I know who know you, and there's people who I know don't know you, and they're sharing it, and that's just been truly quite remarkable.
Couldn't get through an Instagram story without seeing you and your suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, we're super proud for you, mate. You guys can all listen to Ricky's brand new song on Spotify. The music video will be out now. Mate, we are absolutely so stoked for you. And as they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. And I think we're definitely about to crank into summer with Wesley Black, with Better With You. And it's just really, it's all happening for you, mate. And we couldn't be any prouder.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you guys are too kind. You can't even see the smile on my face right now. It's very large.
It's an absolute pleasure to chat to you, mate. I'm sure we'll speak to you soon. But for the moment, it's time we finally it's finally time we get to feature the brand new track from Wesley Black, Better With You.
Close, and you could do, so much better than me, but please don't, 'cause I think I'm better with off when I'm lost in my thoughts. Crossing it off and I'm saving a face. Sometimes my mind is a dangerous place. Yeah, but I'm still trapped in it, and it's always that minute that you gotta feed lines on my shoulder, telling me bad things I never could show for. Awfully tense and they're drawing me closer. This is the front that I'm putting up. I don't know why I'm still putting up. Looking at me like it's someone you couldn't love. I know I'll never be good enough. Wasting my time counting minutes and seconds when I should just live in the present. My head is spinning, been given a blessing. Oh, you my heart, I will give in a second. And I can't lose, no, I can't lose, yeah. I'm just trying to keep close. And you could do, yeah, so much better than me, yeah, yeah. But please don't, cause I think I'm better with you. But I know you're better alone. And there's lightning inside of the room. Some things I cannot control. And it might seem dramatic to you, but I don't think I know where I'm going. Cause I think I'm better with you. But I know you're better alone. Cause I think I'm better with you. But I know you're better alone. And there's lightning inside of the room. Some things I cannot control.
That was unreal. What a dude.
What a legend of the
He's,
game.
he's one of my favorites.
He's
And
just the nicest person.
What a
if we were-
banger.
if we would just quickly, if we were ever to make this a 4-person show,
Oh, Jared. No.
that's hot. That's hot.
No, but what a banger though, for real. That's going in like all my summer vibes.
Yeah, I've been I listened to it a lot at work today.
It's fantastic. He actually sent us through the. We'd planned to have a chat to him on Monday, but the things got delayed. I think he mentioned that off the top. Things got delayed off the top.
Yep.
So we obviously spoke to him. We did. This episode's come out a little bit. We recorded a little bit later than planned, but he actually sent me through.
We had it before everyone else.
Yeah, we had
We had
the single well and truly before. I listened to it heaps on the day. I said I wouldn't. I thought I'd listen to it between the three of us at the same time, but nah, fuck that. It was real good. I just had it on repeat. I reckon I listened to it probably 10 times in a row.
It's like one of those songs
fantastic,
that the
man.
more you listen, you're more like, oh,
Yeah, and I really,
it is.
I can't get over how much I like that second verse. When it's him, when it's him rapping, because he normally raps quite an aggressive style.
Yeah.
Where this is a little bit more
boppy.
Yeah, it's a bit more. I don't know. It's got a bit of pop to it.
It does.
I really like
it. Wasn't what I was expecting from him, but yeah, loved it.
Yeah, and I'm stoked. I'm really, really excited for the next one. The King of the
World.
King of the World to come out. I'm actually so keen for that.
Yeah.
He talked that up heaps last time he was on.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
you're
really
talking
excited about that.
More
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah,
I didn't think he mentioned this better with you.
he did. Well, he made
Alluded to it.
Yeah, you go back and listen to Ricky's episode. If you're just joining the podcast and if you're joining just for him, go back 10 weeks. Hopefully it'll be on Spotify and
Episode 51.
you can have a listen to it back then. Boys,
On to the big topics.
yeah, fuck. Okay, this week we asked the people of Perth, do you wash your how frequently do you wash your bed sheets? Do you want me to do that again?
No, that was good.
Okay, sorry.
How washing them sheets? Yeah.
When are we watching these bad boys? What do you reckon, boys? What
I
are you
think
doing?
Jake's a bit choked up because he's going to get called out for not doing it frequently.
Well, I didn't know you had to wash them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was pretty alerted when you mentioned that this was something we were going to be running with on the pod.
Jake sheets.
We had some
they're a
fantastic. Here we go.
Jake sheets
This will be good. This will be good.
Jake sheets are a dark grey. Very cool of him. But
Yeah, by design, not like.
but toward the neck area, orange.
That's not true. We're just
Definitely fades.
anyway.
How often do you go, Ray? You're a bit of
yeah.
a clean freak.
Nah, I'm actually, when it comes to bed sheets, it's a fucking trek.
I hate putting the back on.
It is a trek, eh? Yeah, it's annoying. Like, I love doing it. I wish I did it more. I think when I move out and I'm in my own crib, like, I'll do it a lot more. But just because I don't do, like, washing, it's like, I mean, I'm not going to do what
Yeah, just
sheets, you know? Like,
The thing is, it's such an effort. Like it's such an exhaustive
if it was
process.
easier.
Which is tough for me because I do it every 4 days. So like it's quite an exhausting process.
Do you know what
So-
I've heard? I can't remember where I heard this, but someone I know doesn't take the old bottom sheet off. They just put a new one on.
What about like when you piss the bed?
yeah.
Do you piss the bed?
Every Friday.
Those weekly wet ones that you have. What happens there?
That's not happening to me, brother.
Just wring that shit out. Or?
One thing I really like, right, is when you take all your bed sheets off,
Yeah.
and then you got that clean. It's just mattress. It's just you and mattress.
It's actually so much more comfy.
Having
than-
a chill,
that's weird,
especially when
bro.
I was a kid, when mum would take the sheets out, and then you just feel like vibing on your mattress.
No, I don't like laying on that shit.
No, I love
I
it.
love it.
Especially
That
in,
never gets washed.
especially in summer. Do it because it's way cooler than doing it on your actual
You
bed.
sleep with no.
No, I don't sleep. Oh, there was a
Okay.
period. A couple.
Oh.
Must have been a couple of years ago. I had hung my washing out, and this is part of the whole. Fucking, it's such an exhaustive process. I'd hung it all out,
So big as well.
and then I went to work at the movie cinema,
Cool.
and I came back home. I think I finished up at like 2 a.m.
Late night, yeah.
So by the time I get back home, I part of me had not thought through the process of what I was going to be facing when I got back home. It was a sheetless bed. I think it was all still hanging up outside,
Mm-hmm.
and I just slept with the doona without like anything on it,
Ooh.
and then the actual mattress.
Oh,
of
like the
bed.
doona,
Yeah,
inside.
a naked doona and a naked bed,
Very minimalist of
and
you.
yeah, it was interesting.
Very interior design.
That's
Yeah.
bed bugs, brother. That's bed bugs surrounded.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's where the bed
There
bugs
you go,
are.
bed bugs. You got a bad case of bed bugs.
Don't think
We
that's
got
What are
a-
the people saying?
A
Alright.
wide range. A lot of nevers. a lot
yeah, a
of
lot of fucking comedians on the comments this week.
deep healers once a week. Fuck off. He's the dirtiest
That's
man I know.
Oh,
Once a week.
shout out.
Once a week.
Messy, you making
Yeah.
them
I
in a
doubt it's
week.
him doing that. That's mummy. Oh, so Big Ed from who gave our Everyday Hero last week. He
Yeah.
said once a week. His room is very messy. So
Very messy.
that's just never. been
Can
back
we
in
not
there.
just like throw people under the bus
Yeah.
just quickly?
I mean, clean your room.
Yeah. He's just dropping their Instagram handle and the state that they keep their room.
Mind you, your room is like incredibly well maintained.
Yeah, bruh.
So I think
Yeah, that's just-
you're the last
That's the
person.
OCD lifestyle.
Not
fam.
to-
You're the last person that should be throwing out the whole. Yeah, your room is everyone's room is messy compared to your room, bro.
Thanks, bro. One of my favorites was Adam Quill wrote in, big effort there is once every 4 months or once every 2 if I'm feeling naughty.
Wow, that's quite a period.
That's no, but 4 months is often.
No, it's
3
not.
times a year.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
Let's be honest though. I'm like,
How
I know it's
frequently-
disgusting, but like it
How-
happens.
How frequent?
It gets ahead of you. I can't remember the last time I
Gets
washed
ahead
it.
of you.
I can't remember the last time you washed
Ever
them.
washed your
I'm
own
always
shit?
meaning to, but it's like, I don't have that time of day. Like it's a plan. Like you got to be like, because you can't leave it out there for too long. Like you can't leave it out there when it's getting nighttime, because then it like gets wet again because like the condensation in the air.
Oh, the
You've got to, and when you wake up, you're not like, oh, let's do washing. You know?
Especially because you get up about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's fucking almost night time.
Sun setting.
You got to put them in the laundry before you go to bed.
Oh my god, Delisa said switcheroo on a Sunday and Wednesday.
What?
Grow up, Delisa. That's just a flex, bro.
Where's this? Hang on. He's doing
the
it twice a week.
top, touchy.
Twice a week.
Switcheroo on a Sunday and a Wednesday. That's incredible.
That's
Hey.
a lot of sheets.
Surely
means
you
that-
got to have 2 of that. You got to
At
have
least.
2 sets of
Oh
shit.
yeah, definitely.
So he's got like a weekend specific and then a work week.
Yeah, the old, it's hump day. Time to do the sheets again.
That's bizarre.
I wonder if after like, because obviously he washes
Props to him.
He washes it 3 days and 4 days. I wonder if on that 4th day he's like, ew, this is getting weird, manky. Me, 8 months later. I remember this chocolate laugh from.
You wake up next to like a clone of your old body,
One-
skin.
The goat, I
Fucking
reckon,
hell.
bed sheet change. Do you guys have winter sheets and summer sheets?
No. I used to back in the day, but
Yeah,
I'm
I changed to the summer sheets for the first time. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I know. what you
Real
mean.
good.
And then changing to the winter is snuggly.
Yeah, you get snuggly again.
Jake hates those
I
because
don't use winter sheets. I get weird like
Jake sweats.
no, I don't know. I get a weird feeling on my feet that I really, really can't stand. Do you? I think someone said it in here. I guess if you send in a message,
We're reading it out.
Yeah, unfortunately for you. So the consensus seems to be between 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh no!
really? That's
Maybe we won't release
how
this one.
frequently does Olive do hers?
Oh yeah, pretty often actually. When I first started dating her, like every time I'd go there, she was like, "Oh, I got new sheets." I was like, "What? Why?"
It's the same year.
Waste of water.
The consensus seems to be every 1 the second week. A heap of people said fortnightly.
I thought monthly was the standard.
Sam Ryan, when he can be bothered. There's a few kings who are doing it weekly, which I don't mind.
Bucky said when her boyfriend pisses the bed.
Nice, good,
Right, that.
good. Yeah, there's some interesting ones.
Yeah.
Joe Weir said once every week or 2 weeks, depending on how many sweaty nights he has. How many sweaty nights would you have?
That's
Emma?
depending on.
Sweaty night? I don't know.
In winter, not many sweaty nights.
Yeah, that's true.
But maybe these are like when you get to night.
I love a fan on at night.
I've been opening, now that we're in summertime, the window goes open,
that's good.
the fan comes on.
Jake used to do this sick thing.
Here we go.
I used to cuddle. Me and Jake used to sleep together.
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago, yeah.
But there was one time it was like deep summer. Me and Jake were cuddling.
I don't remember. Is this a new place? Is this like
Old place.
2018?
Bruh. No, old place. And Jake had a fan. It wasn't a ceiling fan. It was like one of the pedestal ones.
Yeah.
And he had like one of those spritzer bottles that mum
Oh,
used to spray.
I used to dominate
And he
that shit.
Shits that up in the air, and then you get like a free bidet.
Yeah.
Like,
I used to really hate sleeping in the summer, and on reflection, this probably wasn't that smart. So I used to use exactly that. I used to use I don't even know what you call it.
spritzer bottle.
Spritzer bottle, yeah.
I think that's just something that we call it.
Nah,
It spritzes water.
spritzes the bottle.
And what do you used to put on your hair? Like,
Spray bottle.
Yeah. Hairdressers use it to wet the hair, so it's easy to like
yeah.
do stuff.
Anyway, so I used to do that onto the fan, or just like straight up into the air.
That's a classic.
But it used to just wet my bed.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, that's because I used to
And
do
I'd
it
just be
as
in a
well.
pool of
Yeah, I used
water,
to
which
do
was
it-
fine. Like,
Yeah, my bed used to get wet, like real wet. Because I used to like be like, "Fuck, it's so hot," and then like 2 liters on me.
But then you're really hot and then you're wet. Like you're just hot and wet.
Sometimes I would get too cold because like the fans are also pumping, and then you get to be like chilly.
I used to jump in the pool. Frequently, I used to jump in the pool, like semi-dry off, and then just go jump into bed. That's what I used to do when I was young to get to sleep.
That's like back then we used to do that kind of stuff. That's fucked up, unhygienic though. Like that's like chlorine just sitting on your skin, chewing away at you. And there's like little bugs and mitchies. We have
I
dead
think-
cockroaches at the bottom of our pool all the time.
Based on the fact that
Yeah,
you
but
wash your sheets like once every annual year, like when you do your tax.
But that's the thing. I'm clean when I get into bed though. I'm a shower before bed guy.
Oh, shower, mate. You're in there.
That's a topic for another segment. I
What
think.
you should do is you bring your sheets into the shower with you because you spend about an hour and a half in the shower. You reckon you don't have time to wash your sheets?
I think I changed them after I went to Butterfly that time. Remember when I was
You
yakking?
pissed yourself.
Oh wait, no, I didn't change it because Dad put a towel down.
Well, in case you.
Because
You
I was
probably
yakking
should've
off
changed
the side
them.
of my bed. Yeah, I
Probably
should change it.
should have changed them.
All right, Junior Boy, you started a brand new gig at a warehouse of sorts. We
Yep.
made mention to probably a month or so ago now when you first kicked things off.
Yep.
You got home last week
Oh, don't spoil the story, brother.
and let me know that it had been quite an interesting day.
It was.
Take it away.
So, at the job I work at, we have very high shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not high enough to have forklifts, but we have wave machines.
What
which
is a wave machine?
Working assistance vehicle.
Okay.
Vehicular structure. Yeah, so we call them waves. And they're basically like a forklift, but you go up with like there's like this flat tray in front of you,
Okay.
and you go up with it.
Oh yeah, kind of like a cherry picker sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah. So, obviously for the first few weeks when I was there, I hadn't learned how to use the wave yet.
Yep.
But I was with other people when they were using it. And they go pretty high. Like the shelves are pretty flippin' high. And, yeah, they go around, like 3-4 meters up. And,
Quite high.
yeah. Well, I was like, jeez, like, because when you're looking up on it, you're like, fuck, that's pretty tall. And then when you're up there, it's even taller. But, yeah, I was like chatting to one of the guys who was on it. And he's a bit scared of heights. And I was like, have you like got stuck up there? Because these things are only being held up by like, not much metal.
Just the base of the thing.
Yeah, and then there's like a little pole going
Spring
up.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, don't 100% trust. It's very wobbly as well. But like, you probably won't fall. And you're only 3 meters. So it's like, worst
Only
you're
3
gonna do.
meters. That's pretty. Okay, when was the last time you took a 3 meter fall?
I haven't.
I do have my steel caps on there, so it should be good.
Yeah, real soft landing on those bad boys.
But yeah, so I said to him, I was like, have you ever like stuck up there? He's like, I have once. He was worked there for 10 years. It was like, it happened like 8 years ago. I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, there's like a little button up the bottom that they just push you down with. There's like a button they
Yeah.
open, and then it just declines it. And I was like, fair enough. And then he was like, yeah, nah, don't worry, like, you're not gonna get stuck. It's fine. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then did my training, and I was talking to the guy who was training me, and I was like, oh, have you ever got like stuck? Does anyone get stuck up? He was like, nah, brother, like, it doesn't happen.
Are you asking everyone? Like, you seem quite...
No, I'm not. No, these are the only 2 people I've asked.
Okay.
These are one guy I'm working with, one guy who trains people who would know a bit more.
Yeah.
The
And,
experts.
Oh yeah, he was telling me about like he was teaching me how to use the wave, and he's like, oh, there is a thing down here that if you get stuck up there, he's like, I'm not too sure which button it is, but yeah, it never happens. So like we don't have to know about that. Yeah. So the next week, I'm flying through the aisles, putting stuff up
In the wave machine.
in the wave machine, of course.
So do you operate it by
I'm
yourself?
pretty confident. Yeah.
Oh, so it moves around as well, not just goes
oh
up
yeah,
and
it's
down.
like drives around the
Oh,
shop.
that's cool.
This is sick. Can you
Yeah.
film it?
Nah, not
Okay.
not legally.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So I went up, started going up, and collected some of the stuff that's hanging off the side of the shelf.
Yep.
Doesn't like when you do that.
What do
Gets
you-
a bit scared. Like when there's stuff touching near the base, it'll go like whoa, and it'll stop.
Okay.
So you're hitting things that are hanging off the
Well,
shelf.
there are like a few things hanging. You know how like you have aisles and they have like little things in the middle
Yep,
of the
yep.
aisle, like hanging off on a little hook. They're like little packets of, can't remember what they were, but like 2 of them fell. And I was like, oh, that's all right. And I could still go up. I was like, oh, I should be right. So I put all my stuff up. And I was like, all right, time to go down. Click the button. Was not going down. And no one was near me. So I was just standing up there for a while. And this guy
How
was-
high are you? Max capacity.
No, I was only like halfway up, so I was like chilling. I was like, bit annoying, can't go down. And then I like was like just standing there for a bit, and then I like saw my mate, and he looked at me, and I made eye contact with him. I was like, yeah, come over. And he was like, you're stuck. I was like, yeah. He was like, oh shit. All right, like,
Great response.
I know that there's something at the base here that'll flick it off. He's worked there for a few years, so I think he knows about the wave. He knows there's a button down there. So he flicked it open and was pressing the button. He was like, not working, eh? And he was like, oh, but there's another one that goes up. Tap the up one.
That one's
Mhm.
working. Oh,
Went up. I was like, oh yeah, so that works. We know that now. He was like, yeah. And then we like still pressing the bottom one. It's not working. Then click the top one again. I was like, oh, yep. We know this one works, brother. Stop hitting it.
How
And
high
then
are
he
you
kept
up at
pushing me up. He doubled my height by the end of it. I was fucking high at this point, and I was like, I'm not scared of heights, but this is high. And I was like clenching on with my feet a little bit. Like I wasn't going to fall. But like if I had like genuine fear of heights, this would have been the end of me. I was up there for like 15 minutes. Then another girl came over. And then,
And if people
then
just
2 more
walking around
girls
the
come
shop.
over. Then they get like a manager of the hardware section. He comes
I'm
over.
imagining just a whole crowd of people now just watching Perth's tallest man. Just going, oh, look how tall
People
he
are
is.
in the aisle, be like, oh, can you reach that?
And they're all pressing the same button, going, "Oh, it can't go up, but can it go? Can go down, but can it go up?" I'm like, yeah, it can.
Ah, so it's just the down button. That's the issue.
Yes, that is the issue. And then I kept going up. There was like
Were you
5
above?
people.
Were you above the aisles at this point? Can you now see over?
Yeah.
So you're like a tennis umpire.
Yeah. And then yeah.
You can see the whole. You can see the whole place.
Yeah.
Got spillage in aisle 3. I can see from here.
Well, I was up real high, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, I'm not getting stressed, but like a little bit, like anxiety in my heart's building a little bit because like if I go on my tire, it's gonna be rough. And then one of the
Is
boys.
there a roof? Are you close to the roof?
Nah, the roof's like 40 feet high. Like and even more. It's huge.
Okay.
But like, then one of the boys pulled over like one of the tallest ladder we had. It was like a meter or 2 lower than what I was.
You
And
can't jump.
And then I was like, yeah, a bit of a step down here. And he was like, yeah, it is a bit, eh? And so I was like, get a taller ladder. He was like, this is it. Like, we can't get him down. What's the plan, Phil? And then so they called
How many people were standing around? I'm just imagining everyone around. Just
6
like,
or 7.
just arms folded, going. Oh, I've never seen anyone get up that high.
6 or 7.
Every
people.
person was up. Oh, does that up button work though?
Yeah, 6 or 7 people. And then they went and got big boss man of the place.
Have you
And
met
he
him
came-
before?
This isn't my mate.
Yeah, no. He's
Okay.
like one of my. He's like the actual boss of the whole place. Lovely guy. He came over. He's like, everyone stop! Like, move out of the way.
Just people fucking around with the button just to see how high.
Yeah,
you can
he
get.
came like, and he was a bit like in like a little bit under stress because if I got injured, like he's under the shit.
Yeah.
And so there's like a base of the machine, and he ripped the whole thing apart.
Why
And
were
then
you
there
up
was like
there?
a button on the part that holds me up that also lets me down. And he pressed it and it was letting me down. But he was like fucking around with shit down there. I was like, please don't hit something that like is just like fall.
Eject,
yeah, or
the
like
eject button.
eject the shit. And I'm like, I was ready to hold on because I'm right next to the aisle, like that, right next to the
Hanging.
shit. But yeah, I eventually did get down. Barely even said anything like sorry or like how you going. But there, by the time I got down, everyone had fucked off. Then me and the boss had to push like the 3-ton thing through the aisles and back. And then I finally got it back there. And yesterday, funnily enough, it got tagged off like don't use this one. And the people from the company that make them came and fixed it. And then I was on it yesterday. Shit zips around now. They must have like remastered
Yeah.
it. It goes so fast. I was having some fun on it. Me and old girl. Yeah, she's my ride.
You're gonna have to I want to get a huge selfie when you get up there.
My ride or die.
Get,
Yeah,
get a huge selfie of you just sitting up
I'll
there.
take one, yeah.
The whole of the warehouse just turning around and going, all right, ready, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, scary. Scary but fun. It's fun to be that high.
Plus, you get a little break.
The food tastes different up there as well.
Ha! What's the deal with wave food?
All right, boys, it's time for our favorite weekly segment of the MacPack podcast. It's time for our Everyday Hero.
What have we got this week, Jake?
Now, this one happened not that long ago. It was probably a month ago, and we've had quite a bit on.
Ooh.
Yep.
And so this one has been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed.
It's banked.
Had the bank, yeah.
But it was good at the time, and it was actually quite surprising at the time. It happened to me while I was in my car, on my way
We haven't had a car.
to work. And I know there was a period not that long ago where it seemed like every second week we had a story like this, but it has been ages since we had a JMac car Everyday Hero.
Give the fans what they want. They've been backed by popular demand.
Now, on this occasion, it was a Friday morning, my favorite morning,
Hell yeah.
and I was heading to work. It was actually close to 8 a.m. Friday, 8 a.m. It was quite a time to be alive.
Of course.
Now, unlike many of you gangsters at home, I don't listen to the podcast at Friday, 8 a.m.
Cool.
Mainly because I lived it. I don't really listen to the podcast at all, to be completely honest. It's a bit boring. No, on this occasion, I was actually listening. It was the weekend that Sam Fender's new album came out. Shout out to Sam.
Bender.
Shout out to Sam Fender, who we made mention to last week. Can I just quickly say, I reckon he's touring Australia.
Coming,
I reckon
yeah,
he's coming. The gig that he did, he's obviously been touring with
Gang of
Youths, and that has gone incredibly well. Have a quick search if you get the opportunity. Him and Dave from Gang of Youths did a few covers yesterday. They did
cute.
Fire by Bruce Springsteen.
Banger.
I love that song.
And Sam's been doing Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen as well.
Ah, the boss.
Hey,
Boss
you
getting it
taking
right.
you taking the piss? These are good songs. You know these songs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have the Born in the USA vinyl.
Okay. That was a little side detail. Anyway, I've got the new album absolutely blaring through my speakers. I like to listen to Sam Fender. I actually like to listen to Sam Fender every Friday morning when I drive to work. Gets you in the mood.
Yep.
Now, I'm pumping along South Street. I'm pretty good at the South Street Drive.
Yeah.
Most people know their F1 circuits. Mine is South Street.
Yep. Straight.
Yeah, it doesn't really take any bend, but I'm
Know where the cameras are?
yeah, slow down for them. And I'm barreling through, and there was this car behind me. I noticed that at one of the satellites, and I looked in the rearview mirror, and it was just like a little family of 4. Family of 3, actually. It was dad driving, mum to the passenger, and one kid, one like baby in the back. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I wonder where they're heading to. And continue to drive. That was like about Murdoch, where I first noticed them. Now, I'm all the way down now. I'm actually in Fremantle. I'm about to turn right, which is the first. That's my South Street exit. Is when I disappear.
First turn for the day.
As I'm about to sort of head close to CBC.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I pulled up at that set of lights, and the car who pulled up next to me, I had my window down, sunroof open, all the windows down, music was going off, and this guy wheeled his window down as well. And immediately when that happens, you're like, oh, there's going to be an interaction of sorts, right? And I'm fucking enjoying my vibe. And I've looked across at him, and my music is at full tilt. Like, my car rocks. So I've cranked the bass up. The car rocks.
Cool.
And I'm looking over at him, and he, like, says something, and I was like, oh, fuck. Didn't catch any of that. So I put my sound down. And he goes again. I was like, sorry, what? And he goes, Seinfeld. And I was like,
What?
oh, so what the fuck is this guy talking about? At the time, we just talked about Seinfeld on the episode that dropped that Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was thrown incredibly. I was like, surely this can't. What the fuck is this weird integration of what's going on? And I just looked at him and goes, Seinfeld. And then I was just like, yeah, he goes, I've been watching so much of it on Netflix. And I was just like, do I know this person? Or does he listen? Has he recognized? I was like, this is one of the weird. He's a dad. I was like, what the fuck?
Is it, Dad?
I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then he goes, believe it or not, George is at home. Please leave a message at the beep. And I was just like that's from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no concept of what is going on here. And I just like smiled and laughed and was just like, yeah, it's good, isn't it? And he just like nodded. And then we both just like, I just looked back forward again. And he was still looking. I could tell that he was still looking at me. His wife was beyond embarrassed. Like she was laughing, and then she put her head in her hands and just like was shaking her head. And I am just absolutely stuck. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then we take off from this set of lights, and I'm still absolutely bewildered by what's going on. And I'm like, I'm 100% sure he hasn't like listened to the podcast. He's not in the demo. I understand that we're growing, but probably not at that rate. They're just like random strangers are yelling at me from the car about shit we talked about on the episode that dropped like minutes ago. And then I was like, maybe I know him from somewhere. Or maybe he's just like been dared to do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just couldn't fathom. And I drive all the way to work. I've got about another 5 minutes of my drive to go. Fucking finally get there, park up, pay for parking. And I go to grab my bag. My bag sits on the passenger seat next to me. And I go to grab my bag. And as I go, I like tilt my head to the left. And sitting in front of me, as it has done for months, is a George Costanza air freshener that Uncle Dave bought me.
Yes. Classic.
And it's just hanging at all times. And it always faces side by side. And it was actually facing the dude.
Oh.
And so he was like blatantly just making like really good, accurate statements, George Costanza specific statements. And I've just absolutely blanked this dude purely because I had no idea what he was talking about.
And you never got to.
No, I
him.
never got to say
So
that
he
was like
thought about that for the rest of his
absolutely all time. So,
That's so
on
rough.
this occasion, he put himself out there, and I didn't reward him. But sometimes the gratification doesn't come immediately. But when I did see that George Costanza decal sitting next to me, there was a grin and a smirk and a laugh, a knowing giggle. There was just like, man, he put himself out there.
That's risky.
And while he didn't receive the value that he should have, but the impact that he wanted to have, he definitely had in the end. He had on me anyway.
He sacrificed himself. He was the sacrificial lamb.
Correct.
Of
So
Jake's happiness.
if there is a lesson to come from this story, it is, even though you might not get the reaction that you necessarily wanted, know that just putting good out in the world will it'll fucking work its way out eventually, and you will get that.
You might not be there to see it, but it'll happen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why Costanza's fucking shout out boy. What are we going to call him?
The Costanza fan.
The Costanza fan is episode 61's Everyday Hero. All right, boys, that's about it for episode 61 of the MacPack podcast. Hopefully you're listening on Spotify.
Yeah, bloody oath.
But to be completely honest, we have no idea if that's even going to be.
Disappointing in Spotify.
Yeah, to say the least. I think every person in their support team has just handballed our task onto the next person, unfortunately.
We deserve better.
We do. But yeah, we've got a lot happening on our end of things anyway. We've got anything that we control,
I've
we
got
seem
some
to be
news.
Dominating.
I've got some
Continue. Yeah,
news.
hit me.
Boys, I've got some news.
Hit
All
me.
right.
Hit me with it.
As you know, this week of Friday has been Leavers Week.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
A year ago this week,
Yeah.
I was coming back from Leavers.
True.
We just did our first Leftovers episode.
True.
Yes.
Huge. Great time to be alive. But I brought a GoPro down to Leavers.
Yep.
Classic move.
And the week I returned from Leavers, I edited a video.
Okay, you're really building this up.
I edited a cute little video about my leavers experience, but that shit never got posted. And I thought, a year later, I'm gonna drop that shit. So on Monday night at what time should I drop it, Jake?
8 o'clock.
That's pretty late. I reckon
PM.
7 o'clock.
7. We'll crack
Yeah.
7 p.m. Monday night. It's premiering, boys.
I like
The
it.
leavers video
Huge scenes. We're throwing it back 1 year.
1 year ago.
We won't feature in it, but
No, but Junior Boy does.
Riley and all of his mates will.
Riley's misadventures.
Hell
So
yeah.
make sure you go and see that. In other exciting news, we actually have the mics. They're in the room. We just haven't used them on this occasion. We're getting a few stands that are being delivered. Incredibly, they're being delivered tomorrow, which is a bit of a shame. But hey, if we could control it, they'd be here. And if we could control Spotify, that would be working. But unfortunately, we cannot. We can control, hopefully, the not only the microphones,
Yeah.
but the guests
Oh.
who are coming on the MacPack podcast as well.
Ooh.
We have a huge guest that is scheduled to come on in it'll be 3 weeks' time on release. It'll be 3 weeks' time. He'll be with us in
Huge.
2 weeks' time, and in 3 weeks' time, the episode will come out. It'll be episode 64. We'll be joined by a
Don't
very-
stop.
a very big figure in some WA circles and some circles in Victoria as well.
Huge.
So
He's a national man.
he is, and he's hopefully going to be a great friend of the MacPack podcast in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, yeah.
We will definitely confirm, if not next week, it'll definitely be confirmed the following week. If we don't talk about it, he has stopped talking to us. So we'll find out for sure in a couple of weeks' time. But that is very exciting. So we're getting new gear, we're getting new guests, and we're at the stage of the MacPack merch
Uh-huh.
is reaching a tipping point, and it's very, very close. We're going to have the stuff. I would love to say before Christmas, and I genuinely think we might. So,
Jake.
if that is the case, that would be fucking huge news, and we'll see how close we get to that pin.
Huge.
Boys, it has been an absolute pleasure
Big
to
things
sit
to come.
down and chat to the both of you.
As always.
We reached 10k followers on TikTok as well, so props to everybody who has jumped on and had a watch of all of those videos. I think it was last week that we said we were going to get there? Or
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Last week.
But yeah, we got there fucking well in excess of the time that we said. Unfortunately, we are just waiting on Spotify. I cannot stress enough how annoyed I am about the whole Spotify situation.
Pisses me off.
But yes, keep streaming. And if you're having issues with Spotify, if you ever have issues with Apple Podcasts, it's a great alternative.
It is.
Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit next to the two of you for 61 episodes of the MacPack podcast, including this week.
Huge.
Please stay safe. Please stay blessed. And always remember to
Go give your mama a hug.
it's ciao for now, but not forever.